This is good news. Of course, you do not want a dry start to the rainy season. And after the dry weather we had last week, the rain that fell yesterday morning through this morning, just kind of keeping us even for the month of November. Decent soak. You know, the rain, if you think back, was light most of the time, but it rained steadily for about 24 hours. So 43 100s in Portland, 62 in Salem, 71 100s down in Eugene. And we don't often see this more in the valley than at the coast, but we did this time around. Astoria, 32 100s. And look at Burns, 37 100s, almost as much as what we got here in Portland. You don't see that often either. And then up in Washington, 4/10 in Vancouver and 4/10 in Kelso, and not as much in Seattle. They picked up a quarter, but over in Pullman, 39 100ths of an inch. So some decent Eastern Oregon and Washington amounts. Part of the story continues to be the rain that we had yesterday, last night into this morning was also rain at Timberline Lodge. You see nothing but barren ground. This is just behind the lodge of 6,000 feet. Current temperature up there, 38 degrees, still cloudy from our live camera. We started to hit this last week, and we're going to hit it again this week. There are no believable signs at this point that there will be enough snow developed between now and Thanksgiving, which is a week from this Thursday, for the resorts to have any sort of partial opening. So obviously weather models can change, but we're closing in on what, about 8, 9, 10 days that we would need them to change to reverse that picture. These are temperatures overnight tonight. So with the dry weather coming in, and there was a cold front this morning, we're now behind that. We're getting back to more seasonal temperatures. So we went 4 nights in a row, it ended this morning, but 4 nights in a row where Portland stayed at 50 or better. So it's been a while since we've had just kind of some chilly starts out the door. This shows Portland could be 39 tomorrow morning and Salem could be 36. And I really like our chances of being in the 30s even more so on Wednesday. So here's Wednesday morning. This shows Prineville in the mid-20s, Bend at 29, Salem 36, Portland 37. I believe if we stay clear Wednesday morning with light to east winds, that some areas of the valley could be down to at least 35 and maybe flirting of 32. So just a heads up that we're going to get back to some more seasonal chilly nights. Again, we haven't had that in about a week in terms of getting to where you feel like there's a little bite to the air. I mentioned some dry breaks offshore in the commercial break. This is another day seeing most of the rain down into California where they've had flooding issues. I think this is true. I know they had flooding issues in Southern California over the weekend. I think if you go back to like last Friday, they had some flooding issues up in Northern California. So that's where the weather systems have been diving. We've been kind of on the northern edge. Right now, still some rain up around Seattle, but we are dry. I showed you this moments ago, the sunshine on Lincoln City from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. Here's Salem, all dry, and most of our cameras at least show some brightening right now, 51. It'll be a gradual process of opening up some breaks. Portland, there's a little blue right there, but still a lot of clouds. Again, gradually a little bit more in the way of sun breaks through the afternoon. 53 is considered comfortable for this time of the year for us. 51 in Salem. It's 55 in Bend, and it's in the 40s currently in Baker City and Burns. This is where we're going this afternoon, kind of where we're at. Low to mid 50s up and down I-5 and some 50-degree temperatures really across all of our area. Here's the 7-day forecast. There is a shower chance that I'm carrying tomorrow. A lot of the models, most of them don't give us any measurable rain tomorrow. So we'll see if we get something or not. Wednesday, all dry, the chilly start, and then showers are back in the forecast Thursday and Friday. And while I wouldn't say this is a high confidence call, right now there are signs the upcoming weekend will be dry.